The mass vaccination site at the Spokane Arena is set to open on Wednesday. We have everything you need to know, including how people are feeling now that a vaccine's on the horizon.
After a steady snowfall all day today, we're already looking ahead to when the next batch of snow is falling later this week.
Plus, House managers delivered the article of impeachment against former President Donald Trump to the Senate for the upcoming trial. The next steps on the impeachment process tonight. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 11. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Regina is off tonight. Our top story, thousands of seniors across the inland Northwest are trying to figure out when they'll get their COVID vaccine. While they wait for the Spokane Arena to open up on Wednesday, many are just excited to finally be eligible. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones spoke with one man about what it means for him.
With the vaccine becoming more accessible here in Spokane, high-risk individuals gain a sense of comfort. It's a step closer getting back into somewhat of a normal routine.
The hardest thing is not being able to just go do things.
Jim Packle knows all about the challenges brought on by the pandemic. Last year, he underwent bypass surgery after a heart attack. He saw firsthand how difficult new procedures were on hospital staff and patients.
But before going into both of those, I had to be COVID tested and test negative for them to allow me into the facility.
With the Spokane Arena opening this week as a vaccination clinic, people like Jim will be signing up to get their first doses of the vaccine. He's been stuck inside over the course of this pandemic after developing heart issues. News of the vaccine has given him some hope. It's one less thing he has to worry about.
No people really were allowed in to visit. My wife had to be there in case she had to make a decision whether I'm going to make it or not.
The 72-year-old Air Force veteran says he'll be signing up for the clinic when it opens. He's feeling better since his surgery, but getting back into the world is something he looks forward to. In the meantime, Jim says he'll continue to wear his mask, wash his hands, and keep his distance. Anyone who plans on using the arena clinic should plan on confirming their eligibility through Washington's Face Finder tool. The next step will be confirming your appointment.
And treat people with respect. The same, the golden rule. God tells us, treat others as you want to be treated, and that's the way it should be.
From Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
The vaccine rollout was also a topic of discussion at tonight's Spokane City Council meeting. Health Officer Dr. Frank Velasquez gave a presentation and fielded questions from council members, including Kate Burke, who asked what the health district is going to do to make sure all the available vaccines are being used.
I wonder what the solution is there so that we don't waste these vaccines.
So the direction that all providers have is to make sure that before you open the shipment, you have line of sight for utilizing every single one of the doses that you are opening out of that package. And we've had situations in which that has not worked out 100%. So we've actually moved vaccine around, and some providers have actually called on their waiting list, individuals that have signed up but couldn't get in. And the goal is to make sure nothing goes to waste. And I can tell you, at least locally at the district, not a single one has gone to waste, and we're over 90% on utilization on the ones we've gotten.
So to be clear, that 90% figure does not mean that 10% of the vaccines have been tossed out. It just means they haven't been administered yet. As you heard, Dr. Velasquez said none of the shots that have been given directly by the health district have gone to waste. The district said it has not heard of any doses being tossed out by other local providers either. We know many of you have a lot of questions about the mass vaccination clinic at the Spokane Arena, and here are 3 things you need to know. We learned today the vaccinations being given at the arena will be the Moderna vaccine. Once the site is up and running on Wednesday, it'll be open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. It'll be open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then Saturday, Sunday, it'll be open 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. And lastly, we do know the Spokane Regional Health District has received the first shipment of 3,000 vaccines. The goal is to vaccinate 500 people a day. Max vaccination sites will receive shipments of the vaccine every Monday. In order to get a vaccine, you must make an appointment in advance. You can sign up on the Chaz Health website once it goes live on Wednesday morning. We did notice that on the Department of Health's website, all the other sites have a 1-800 number for patients to call and register for an appointment, which is great for those who may not be internet savvy. Right now, Spokane only has the Chaz website for appointment registration. We don't know why this is, but we are working to get you more information about why that is. So who qualifies to receive the vaccine? Right now, the Max Vaccination Clinic in Spokane is only for Tier 1 of Phase 1B, which means anyone 65 and older. It also includes people who are 50 and older if they live in a multi-generational household. We should mention the other tiers in Phase 1B are not eligible right now, and they will be at a later date. We'll keep you posted on that one. The state, meantime, has rolled out a more robust version of an online phase finder tool to help you determine if you're eligible. The survey now asks questions related to Phase 1B. Again, that's mostly dealing with seniors and people in high-risk settings. People can check boxes to indicate if they have cancer, diabetes, a heart condition, or a weakened immune system, or if they are an essential worker, like an educator, a grocery store employee, or a public transit worker. If you are eligible to receive the vaccine, you can enter your name and contact information to get a confirmation message to show to a vaccine provider to demonstrate your eligibility. If you're not eligible, you can still enter your contact information to be alerted when it is your turn. The Spokane Arena is one of Washington's COVID mass vaccination sites. There are 4 total. The other 3 include Kennewick, Wenatchee, and Ridgefield in southwest Washington. All 3 are offering the Pfizer vaccine. Meantime, while we still wait for our max vaccination site to get up and running, Kennewick's open today.
I set my mileage at 0 miles when I left. It's 1,777. I'm only driven it to Richland. I drove almost 1,800 miles in 2.5 days.
My goodness. One 84-year-old Washington native drove all the way from Oklahoma to get his vaccine at that mass vaccination site in Kennewick. In total, 500 people got their vaccine today, and officials say they had to cut off the line at 11 a.m. The vaccination sites in Kennewick, Wenatchee, and Ridgefield are drive-through only. So we know this is a lot of information we have just thrown at you. So for more information about the mass vaccination site opening at the Spokane Arena, just text the word vaccine to 509-448-2000 and we'll send that information directly to your phone. Now to tracking the coronavirus here in Spokane County, the Spokane Regional Health District reporting 63 new coronavirus cases today. That is the fewest number of cases reported in a single day since October. There were 6 new deaths today, bringing the total to 478 in Spokane County, and currently 105 people are hospitalized. Meantime, the Panhandle Health District reporting 258 new coronavirus cases today, which does include Saturday and Sunday. 3 new deaths were also reported, and currently 53 residents of Idaho's 5 northern counties are hospitalized with COVID-19. All right, let's talk weather now, shall we? With the snow falling throughout the day, it's created some slick driving conditions this evening. The Washington State Patrol has already responded to several crashes tonight. I-90 between Pines and Sullivan Roads has already seen several crashes both eastbound and westbound. So if you have to travel tonight, certainly take it slow. With that, let's get straight to meteorologist Thomas Patrick on the Outdoor Weather Center tonight. Thomas, doesn't look like it's snowing tonight, and only about an inch fell across the region today, but my goodness, certainly enough to make conditions pretty slick out there.
Yeah, it's always just even 1 inch is more than enough to create slippery roads, and sometimes it's a balancing act because a lot of side streets get icy, but even some main roads, when they don't have traffic on them, like at this hour, also start to turn icy. So never underestimate even just 1 inch of snow, even though we've seen way bigger snows even earlier this year. But all that moisture is pretty much wrung out of the atmosphere. There might be 1 or 2 snowflakes that are just drifting by the camera as of this hour, but nothing significant for this evening. So we're pretty much dried out, and we'll have a dry day tomorrow before our next weather system starts to come into play. So it's already spinning in the North Pacific, kind of diving down towards the inland northwest, and there's actually a little dry slot of air that's actually separating the snow that we had today and yesterday and that next incoming weather system. So we'll get a small break here. It's 25 degrees right now. That's pretty much where we'll hold steady all night long and into tomorrow morning with expected morning lows, mid-20s to low 20s for the most part. But yeah, we got 1 inch to 1.5 inches of snow on the ground. Probably stays on the ground for tomorrow, but it ends up being a cloudy but maybe the only dry day of this upcoming week, because when that next system comes through on Wednesday that I'll be tracking in just a few minutes comes in, then we start a new active weather pattern for really the rest of this month. So I'll show you how many days have snow chances and also how many days might squeeze out some rain as well.
All right, we'll talk to you then. Thomas, thank you very much. And still ahead tonight, House managers delivered a single article of impeachment to the Senate today, accusing former President Donald Trump of inciting the January 6th Capitol riot. The next steps in the impeachment trial. Plus,
it's just disbelief. We're all reeling right now.
The Gonzaga community has stepped up the past 2 weeks to help former Zag Jeremy Eaton after his cancer diagnosis. We'll hear from his former teammates coming up later in the show.